these instruments and shit. So we've just had a wonderful chemistry. He'll play the guitar, he'll do his little instrument thing, and I come right behind him and put the lows in, the drums and stuff, and like we've meshed and finally found that new wave. So I'm excited about this one. It's gonna be 6 songs on there. We ain't gonna like overdo it. So I don't know if you want to call it a short album or EP, but I'm excited about it, man. For real, for real. Like no.
How I feel about that
Mhm.
though, bro. I'd rather you put 6 songs of some real fire on the EP than 20 songs and it's still only 6 songs that we fought with anyway. You feel
You
me?
know
Like,
what? I was listening to this guy and he was talking about Big Sean. I don't know if you listened to his latest project, but that's exactly what he was critiquing, or his critique was of the album. Like, damn, bro, we got like 21 songs, but I only really ride to like 4 of these. Like, it got so deep it's him to question, and do Sean really even want to rap?
he should listen to his lady, man. That's how Janae Aiko came up, bro. She dropped them EPs, them little 4 song, 6 song EPs, and her little vibe, you feel me? Like it was good because it was like it was enough, but it kept you want more, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Right, right. So
Like,
sometimes this whole like a
EPs.
what you say, bro?
That's when I started fucking with them EPs because you gonna replace songs regardless, like whether it's
Right,
you know what I mean? Like
right,
songs, songs is timeless, bro.
right.
Antoine,
Yo,
go ahead, brother.
oh no, I'm following your lead. I agree with you,
Oh,
man. You know,
yeah,
sometimes
bro. We was just talking. I just had it going, bro. So yeah.
sometimes when we talk about the attention span of people and how
Mhm.
it's like so short, you got to find ways to make it a positive. So a 6 song EP is just like an album today. And like
Mhm.
you say, it condenses it down from like 20 songs, 18 songs, where they got so much to get lost into. It's like, no, you got these 5 songs, these 6 songs, like get familiar with them. And they gonna get familiar and like them. You know what I mean? So if you put out another 6, it's gonna turn out being, when you get to like 36 songs out, everybody's gonna really know them and like them.
Because it's still the same shit. Normally, what most artists used to do back in the day, I don't know about now, but the albums took you through a phase in their life where, I mean, I remember with Wayne songs, it'll start off like either upbeat, high, hard, bang your head, and then it'll mellow out to where he rapping over a piano or something. You know what I mean? He ends his albums off to where it's like, oh shit. So it take you from a part. So versus taking them through all of that on the album, you could just EP it. It's the crunk. It's the crunk EP, whatever you want to call it.
Right, right,
It's
right.
the, you know what I mean?
It's like
It's
it's
the
like an
I'm in
installment.
love, you know.
It's like
Yeah,
a short installment in your overall catalog.
people
But
computers
that
knew it.
that is probably because people don't what I think you were reaching for was like actually having a progression to your album, and not just having like random songs. Like there's a cohesion, you should take them high. I think people, like, even though I don't really particularly listen to him, I think Kendrick's good at that. I
Yeah,
remember like way back, Good Kid, Mad City did that. It took you on a roller coaster that you didn't even know you was on till it was over.
yeah.
But there's still some value in that, and that's kind of like what we're doing. Me personally, with my cousin, like, not so much. We're gonna get into storylining a lot more, but we're still paying attention to what goes well behind each other. Like, are we telling this story? Oh, we said a lot here. Like, we got to kind of balance that out with this. Like, and really, that's what Larry do for us too. Larry is good at that. I found the value in that over the last couple of years, and you do it too, in your own way. Um, but you know, it's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, man, gotta take it all in, man.
Hmm.
We back with another episode, man. I feel like this the best show out right there that nobody knows about, but my nigga Twan, bro. And then when we get to the top,
Yeah.
bro, we go put Twan name in the rafters and gold on everything. Um, we back with another week, crazy week, Thursday. We talking about Thursday, Saturday. It was a lot that went on in sports, but we gonna talk about the big boys first, man. Yeah,
Absolutely.
we called it. We called it. Bills put the fucking beat down on the Miami Dolphins. Not only did they put the beat down on the Dolphins, dog, I just got to go ahead and get into it. Tua got another concussion, dog. That it was again, and this time he ran into the chest of Damar Hamlin. What was crazy is he ran into dude's chest. That's literally how dude got killed the first time on the
Oh
field.
Lord.
You know what I mean? Because his heart was stopped for 20 minutes. He was dead.
Right. That's not funny. I'm not laughing at that.
No, yeah, but I know it's just like crazy to say that, but I
Yeah,
get
just
it.
the way
But
you said it, I was like,
yeah,
oh.
just
I mean, hey, you didn't lie.
and then Tua, I don't know what bro was thinking, man. Like he picked up the first down, and I don't know why he think he a fullback, bro. Like he just
You know what's funny about this, bro? In our
Tua,
private,
Tua,
in our
Tua, Tua.
in our personal conversations, like, we like to talk about the far end of it possibly being all the script, right?
Right.
So one thing I remember you vividly saying last week was, bro, I don't know about the script sometimes because two will really be getting concussions. Like, I don't know how you can fake that, right? And I was strolling, and one of the YouTubers we both know, like, he had a whole video on, like, he's alleging that even the concussion thing is all a part of the show too. And then when you come out and you say, like, he ran into Damar Hamlin, like, let's see. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
You see what I'm saying? Like
I mean, no, I'm saying
if
like
if if you faking this, yeah, them niggas good. Well, I ain't
they're
gonna
all,
lie, but them niggas good.
bro. Tua just got the bag, bro. Tua
True.
just got
They so they
275.
said they paid him so he wouldn't sue the NFL because technically, Tua was supposed to sue the NFL. Uh, the one he got versus the Bills 2 years ago when he stumbled to his knees, got back up, and then he went down and they still scored the touchdown or some shit like that. He was supposed to be out for at least 2 months after that one. But he plays in the game 4 days later. So that's 3 days rest in between. Plays in the game 4 days later. That's Sunday versus the Bengals, bro. I mean, Thursday versus the Bengals. Then he gets pretty much same situation there. He was supposed to sue the NFL because
So
they wasn't.
who's in position? Who's supposed to override? You know, like in boxing, when the boxer is too brave for his own good, the trainer's responsibility is to override him and be like, no. Who is supposed to? Is it Goodell? Is he supposed to step in? What position in the NFL is supposed to say? I know it's the NFL period, but who's
In
actually supposed to?
situations like that, that whole staff was supposed to lose their job.
Right. But who other than okay, you got player who might say, I want to play.
No,
Coaches like,
not players. I'm talking about from the coaches, training staff, GM, everybody.
but
Well,
feel me,
not GM, but everybody on the performance half of it.
but feel
They
me,
all was supposed to lose their job.
that level right there, before they get to the point of losing their job and making a dumb decision, what position is in the NFL conglomerate is supposed to step in and step down and say no, he's not playing?
It
Is
was
that a
supposed to.
rules thing or like is that a
It was supposed to be when he showed their gross motor movement.
right?
Somebody, whether it was the coach, cheerleader, somebody, whoever was in that realm, they were supposed to step up and put some balls up, put stand 10 toes. Let me rephrase my language.
Yeah,
Stand 10
pause. B.
toes, stand 10 toes and say, hey man, you can't play. He
Right.
can't play.
And
Because
I'm even saying, yeah,
all of them boys, even the coaches, they got degrees in psychology where they took up kinesiology or anatomy or some form of that where they know they weren't supposed to do that, Javon. You know,
Right,
and I
right.
both know. They all got degrees in their realm.
I
So
just think I think it's a problem when even be there's supposed to be something above that too. Like the NFL should have a protocol that if you exhibit those signs, you got to sit out for 2 months. You know what I mean? Like it should
they
be a
do.
no-brainer.
They
They
do.
say they're doing
They
all.
hold on.
So did that implement
NFL
after Tua and
concussion
them?
protocol. Look, no, that's been in place since the Ryan
Policy
Shazier shit.
protocol.
The Ryan Shazier shit, bro. Since that whole movie, bro. You remember Will
So
Smith
why
made a
then
whole
how did
movie about that.
that no, but then my point is how did Tua play then?
Like I said, niggas were supposed to lose their job. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like,
I get it, but I'm saying
that's
that
why it
like
was
who
so
didn't
egregious. That's why they gave him that contract, Javon. Like, honestly,
yeah,
honestly,
I get what you're
Torn,
saying.
Torn, Torn, be honest, bro. Torn, you know, did Tua really deserve that big contract he just got? Like, just think about his play. He only had seriously, I'm a Bama fan. He only had one good year. That's some college shit. Usually,
So it's
usually you have a 3 year track record before they all right. You feel me? Like Joe Burrow, I can see
they
it.
don't even want pay they don't even want to pay you then.
Yeah, Justin
But
Herbert, but
listen,
Tua is
listen,
like, damn.
listen. The main not to get too far off the original point. Like once you get that NFL money, bro, you're gonna do what they tell you to do. You know what I mean? Like if it's a storyline or a script, these guys are high paid actors, athletic actors. Like I don't know, man. It's just what's the irony that he would run into the other guy that had the most important health scare in the NFL and then do the same thing? And why is it always against the Bills? But anyway, I mean, you can see that coming from a mile away. I
No,
don't
it's more
think.
so the Bengals though. A lot of people get hurt versus the Bengals with the Dolphins.
No, I mean Tua though. You say he got hurt previously with the Bills the first time, and then this time right now he's getting hurt with the Bills.
True.
So like it's just like if we're talking on the storyline and possible script, that's funny to me. But if not, and it's really real, that is crazy to keep seeing this brother go through that, man. Like I would just sit down. I would sit down.
I would have sat down after the first one. This is a video I want to show y'all. This is why I would have sat down after the first one. So, people out there, I was smart once upon a time. I was a very studious fellow where I did a book report on chronic traumatic encephalopathy, also known as CTE, to the better people, also known as punch drunk. Um, this is the effects of concussions and what they do to the brain, um, involving impact to it. For us was the game what we played, football, like any sport where you could get a concussion, but football and boxing is the two where a lot of this shit exhibited, and you see stuff like this right here. I'll play this video for y'all.
Tagovailoa went down with another concussion today and displayed the fencing response directly following impact. Let's break down why this occurs with an intention to raise awareness for traumatic brain injuries. We see Tua lower his head, and he sustains a direct axial load that compresses at the top of his head. You combine this with this rotation where his head is being knocked off to the side, and the combination of these causes the brain to rapidly accelerate and decelerate while also rotating and twisting inside the skull, causes damage and temporary dysfunction of this region of the brain called the brainstem, which is responsible for motor reflexes and even regulating your breathing and heart rate. The fencing response, which is sometimes observed after a concussion or TBI, is thought to be linked to the reactivation of a primitive reflex we all had as babies, the asymmetric tonic neck reflex. In a healthy adult, the higher brain centers, like the cerebral cortex, usually suppress these reflexes. When the brainstem is temporarily damaged, it can block communication with the higher brain centers. This loss of control from the higher centers is thought to reactivate the primitive reflexes through disinhibition. This response is now part of the NFL's no-go symptoms, which rule out a player immediately. This is the reason why the medical team ruled out Tua within 6 minutes of the injury occurring. This is one of multiple concussions Tua has had over the past few years, and it's going to raise concerns about whether he should even continue to play. Wishing him a safe and speedy recovery. Miami quarterback.
So basically, his brain is bleeding or toast or damaged, and like it's only a matter of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, you gotta sit down, man. Just live in one of them hyperbaric chambers. Get on that ginkgo biloba. I think that's how you say it. Just find out all them herbs. Go back home. Start putting your
So the
brain back
thing
together.
with them concussions is not about a month down the road, 2 months down the road, even a year down the road. That shit about when you get older.
Yeah, right.
Junior Seau, Vincent Jackson, like these dudes committed suicide.
That's what I'm saying. You better get ahead. Even us, bro. Like even
Yep.
us, like, we should be on all type of stuff to heal your brain because you got to get ahead of the curve. You know, we took a lot. We like and man, that you know, it's crazy, man. I feel for him. I
Oh yeah,
feel
I already
for him.
know. I had no business blocking niggas like Roger and Jalen. I look back on that shit, bro. I was like, bro, what was I doing? Like literally, bro. Like, what was I doing? Like, what was I doing with my life, bro? Like, I get it, bro. Like, mission accomplished, but like, what that boy Duke did it said, like, what did we gain from that?
That's why you remember when we used to be on the field and you'd be like, bruh, basically, yeah, get your head out your ass, like do your shit, like you used to be on me, bro. Like that's what I
Because I
used to
was
be
locked
thinking
in.
about,
I
bro.
was a trained robot, bro.
But
Hey,
that's what I
chat.
used to.
So just so y'all know, Rodri was about 6'5",
Out
6'6",
that
yeah,
at least.
yeah, 6'6", 270, yeah,
Hey, fully melanated too.
yeah, yeah. Listen here,
Superpowers intact.
Kevin Garnett, Kevin Garnett, long arms,
Yeah, shout
quiet,
out to
don't talk,
Rodri, man.
coolest nigga ever,
Yes,
bro. Like
yeah.
we're
Shout out
like
to
beast
Rodri.
though, beast. Had to block him. Jalen was about 6'4", 250,
Yeah.
260. Came from Tennessee, only came back because his mom, some with his family, he was a family oriented guy. So that's
Hey,
why he
bro,
had to
like
leave that.
them dudes was like assassins too, bro.
Mhm.
Like in their own way. Like Jalen he barely
He was
spoke,
quick.
bro.
He was fundamentally sound, man. And like you said, Rodre had all his superpowers, bro. Like you could see it. Like they
But I
was
mean,
both
even
dominant
in their
in form.
demeanors, like they
Yeah,
demeanors,
yeah.
like Roger. I
Rodre,
think
yeah.
me and him had like a couple words a whole 2 years there, but like what we he said to me, that's all we had need to say. I knew where he was, and it like and Jalen, like I had a class with him, but he barely said 2 words, bro. But you could tell he listened to everything and he knew what was going on, bro. Yeah, I remember them guys, man. But yeah, you that was yeah, you're crazy.
Yeah, looking back on it, Evan, big ass white was huge, bro. Like I tell people, like, what was I thinking, bro? What
You
was I thinking?
remember Logan? Didn't we have a
Yeah,
linebacker named Logan?
yeah. Logan was
He
more
wa-
so
he was
regular
pretty like
size. He was decent, but he was like regular size. When you go from blocking them to having to block him, it's like, oh, okay.
right. But
But
but them is the ones you should have been thinking like, what am I doing in the first place? You don't got adjusted to it. But I just remember Logan because he had a high motor, bro. Like he
yeah,
seemed like he was just a wild man out there. But yeah, man, good times, bro.
stats from the game: Josh Allen 13 and 19, 139 yards, one touchdown, no interceptions. James Cook 11 rushes, 78 yards, two touchdowns, one reception, 17 yards, one touchdown. Khalil Shakir, 5 receptions, 54 yards. Tua was 17 to 25, 145 yards, one TD. 3 INTs, 2 rush, 17 yards for the left with the concussion. Devon A. Chain, 22 rush, 96 yards, 7 receptions, 69 yards, 1 touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 3 receptions, 24 yards. Jalen Waddle, 4 receptions, 41 yards. Bills' next game is versus the Jaguars. That's in Buffalo. And Miami is versus Seattle. In Miami. Yeah, that's pretty much from that game. Going
You know
into
what?
go ahead.
Go. I don't want to take away from the point if we're going. I was about to say like we might need to start paying attention because I did say the Dolphins were going to end up like an 8-9 team or something like that. Like that's a very real possibility. You said they play the Seahawks next week.
Yep. Bills get back from last
They're
year
gonna
against
lose.
Jacksonville. I don't know, Twan. I think they lose. Historically, they bad versus the Jaguars. Yeah, yeah,
Can I
yeah.
address that?
Go ahead.
So like you said, historically, our first clout chase run was like 96. We were an expansion team. Y'all had Jim Kelly and all your weapons, Bruce Smith, all of that. Like we got our first come up off of y'all, and we've been coming up off of y'all ever since. So you say Bills get back from how long ago? This goes back to 2017. We put you out of the playoffs. Um, we had a down year. We still beat y'all that 6-3 game, the Josh Allen game. We beat you last year. We beat you in between those two that I mentioned. So what are you getting back from? I think it's possible. I thought about that. Like we've won so many against them that they might just,
Yeah,
let them
because
go ahead
they
and do
do.
that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
but you gotta think about it like this. It's all about parity and excitement towards the end. Like Miami got the first one against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's gonna get this one today. They're gonna get the one in Buffalo because at that point they'll both be 3-1 or so. They'll be 2-1. Like unless they're trying to make the Bills go on this glorious run, I still don't see them beating us.
I feel that. I feel that.
You just got matchups, like you said, historically. That's why I was able to say the dog. I told everybody at my job, like, y'all picking Miami, you crazy. Like they're not even built to. But what Buffalo does is a direct threat to them, and they never do well against Buffalo. Like Miami seems like the team where they really start playing well at the end because they always get one against the Patriots, no matter how good or bad either team is, and then they might sneak one against Buffalo if I can remember right. But we'll see, Twan. I mean, I thought about it, but I doubt it. Seriously.
Well, transitioning to college football, man. Going a few games by you. Colorado beat Colorado State 28-9. Where they didn't give up a sack this past game. Let me look up the stats. Shador had a solid
I thought
game
they
too.
gave up one.
I don't think they gave up. I can look at it. I can look at it and
It,
see
it
though.
was none. Well, shit, it don't matter. That's still good. And Shador brought his lineman out there after the press conference. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, because it was on him how he criticized him, which I don't. I mean, yeah, I don't see. I didn't see nothing wrong with it, in my opinion, dog. Honestly, I didn't see nothing wrong with it because it is what it is. You sometimes, shit, dog. You gotta like shit. You gotta do what you gotta do, man. Gotta do what you gotta
Yeah,
do, bro. He didn't tell a lie. Like it wasn't like he was lying on them.
I think people
You
gotta
know,
start asking themselves, what's the alternative of not keeping it real?
right? That's what I'm saying. Like it'll be different if his tone was like, "Oh fuck the O line, they was trash." Like, nah, they asked him what happened. He was like, "Shit, how many times Dylan Rayola was sacked?" When you able to go out there and throw the ball with no pressure, that's what happened. I ain't had no time to throw the ball.
And then it's pressure, the pressure of the game, Like you asking these players this right after the game and all of that, or you don't know what they're hearing and stuff like that. So yeah, people too
But
sensitive, man.
and then they was mad about how he made the quarterback stand on business from Colorado State. So the quarterback from Colorado State had called him like trash or some. Uh, they was like, "Oh yeah, this our redeem game from last year," or something like that. So after the
Yeah, they
game,
was
Shador
talking, they
walked.
was talking it up.
Yeah, they was talking it up. Shador went up to him. He was like, "You remember you said the show get back, right?" And he was like, "Look at the scoreboard." 16 was talking crazy, and 16 was like, "All right, whatever, keep talking," and then walked off. But of course, the comments are quick to be on Shador, bro. But me myself personally, bro, it's a lot of shit I don't like that he do, but that right there, I'm not mad at it. I mean, we applaud Brady when he do it. Like Brady really used to get up in Ray Lewis' face, like headbutting them niggas and everything. Like so, when Brady do shit like that, he passionate. You know what I mean?
It's a threat to the establishment if you got a fully confident, if you got a bunch of Chad Ochocinco's, daring to be themselves at all times. Because even bringing a lineman back there, it makes it fun. Like, you know what I mean? It's like different. Like when I watch the Buffaloes, I can expect what they gonna do. They keep it real, you know what I mean? It's not just stiff up on the podium talking about like the same stuff, So I don't know. People gotta make a decision, man. Do we like the celebrations? Do we like the competitiveness? Like, or is it just selective? We don't like Dion and what he doing, so everything they do is wrong.
Shador went 36 for 49, 310 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Travis Hunter had 13 receptions for 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. LeJontay Webster had 5 receptions, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. Um, Travis Hunter, man, he had an
What was his
interception in the
defensive
game
stats?
too.
Yeah.
Interception, 5 tackles. Uh, yeah, that young man is nothing short of magnificent right there. Nothing short of. One game I got to get into though, Javon. I know you
hmm
don't watch. I know you don't watch college football like that, but we got to talk about it, man.
What's happening?
Florida State
Oh man, why you
loses
did
to
it?
Memphis at
Oh,
home. At home,
and then
like
the way you brought it up, talking about I know you don't want, and then you gonna talk about my team, bro. Like what's up with that, bro?
I just think DJ Ungalalele just need to go ahead and work at McDonald's, bro. Go ahead,
McDonald's?
yeah.
He can't even get
Go
a corporate job with that degree.
go ahead and pretty much, bro. Like ask for that uniform, that third shift. You know what I'm saying? That third shift
Oh man,
uniform. So nobody don't know. So nobody can't hit you with the you DJ. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, bro. You just need to
ruthless.
go ahead and call it quits, man. Like 16 for 30, 201 yards, interception.
That's it. Yeah, bro. I don't know what to say, man. You know, I don't know what to say. Is it possible that this is bigger than just him though? Because I think what happened to that team last year and the way they went out against Georgia, it kind of set a new morale in place. You know, like maybe that whole regime just need to be wiped out. They need to start over, bring a new
I told
energy in
people
it.
this, man. Deion will do better at Florida State than he would at Colorado.
You think that's what it's lining up to be?
That's what it gotta be. If we going with a narrative,
Yeah. Shadur is gone after this year, right?
yep,
What about Travis?
yeah, he gone. Definitely
Yeah.
gone.
Well,
He a
yeah.
junior.
Then it just makes sense. Dion has no obligation but to his churn and the superstars he brought. So I could see it. And you know what I heard too? Like, is Emmitt Smith like a possibility to be the Gators coach? Like, I was strolling and like he was talking, and it basically said like he was in consideration or something. You heard anything about that?
Nah, I haven't heard anything about it, but I do tell people this, man. I don't really think them great players make out to be good coaches. Sorry. We was kind of seeing it with Dion. Like, what makes you a great player is not necessarily the same intangibles that make you a great coach. Nick Saban wasn't a great quarterback or DB. You see what I'm saying? He wasn't great at it. He get probably capped out at high school, probably college if that. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
I
probably
don't.
middle school because he's only like 5,
Yeah,
5'4" or something, right?
something
He
like
can't.
that.
Yeah, he can't play
So
quarterback very long like that.
think about it. Sean, what's the coach over there at the Bengals? Taylor,
Uh,
Zach Taylor, and
Zach Taylor.
he was like a third string quarterback in the NFL. Never was good.
So, is there
Sean,
any examples of great players that ended up being great coaches? I mean, one I think about is Dawn Staley. She's a female, but I mean, are there any examples of that actually being a smooth transition?
see, even with female sports, bro, like the athleticism wise, right? It's like they playing with a lack of athleticism what males play with. So they already playing more mental
Mm, right.
than anything. They playing more fundamentally mental basketball than anything. You see what I'm saying? Like even if
Yeah.
they are good, you know what I mean? Because basketball is a skill sport within itself. But like,
Maybe Steve Spurrier. I mean,
hey,
the fact that we gotta think this hard proves your point. But I think Jordan said it best. Like he was like
because think about it,
the
Larry
level,
Bird, shit at coaching.
right, right.
Magic Johnson was some shit at coaching. I mean, maybe
Kevin McHale.
Kobe coaching girls. I mean, if you want to count that.
I think the biggest thing, yeah, I think MJ said it best. Like he never wanted to be a coach because he found that it was unfair to hold or unreasonable to hold everybody to the level that he held himself to. And then it was
And
like a
Gerald
direct
Henderson with
contradiction.
that GM shit. He was a shit GM. That nigga drafted Gerald Henderson because he could jump. And he was like, yeah, he got athleticism like me. I said, Jordan, that just wasn't the only shit you had, nigga. Like just because a nigga can dunk, that's 99% of the NBA, Jordan.
But he said, hey, at least he came to the conclusion because that's what he said. He was like, yo, I can't expect people to be what I was.
Yeah,
And he does. He said he can't do it unless, you know what I mean? I feel that. I feel him on that. So yeah, that's interesting.
it is, man. uh your parlays, but well, talk about any key games you want to talk about for this week.
I saw my favorite games that I'm looking at other than, Jags and Browns is that Colts and Packers. That's an interesting little matchup. I think they're both coming off losses. I think a lot of points could be scored.
Oh
Saints
shit,
and
hold on,
Cows,
hold on. My fault. I
you good?
forgot to go over this. My bad, y'all, with the
You
college.
good?
The new Pac-12. You heard about that? They
The
finna
new
add
Pac-12.
Fresno. They adding Fresno, Colorado State, uh, in San Diego. So it's already just Oregon State and Stanford. So they finna add Boise, Colorado State, San Diego State, and it was another school. Oh, Fresno State. So it's the Pac
So right
six
now
right
it's only
now.
two teams.
Yeah, it's only two teams.
I think that's a good pairing, a coupling, grouping.
They won't get an automatic bid though if they win
I
the
mean,
conference.
yeah, because the strength of conference. Is
Yeah,
that why?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. They got to rebuild that, build it back up. I think it's good for the smaller schools, and I don't know how good for the bigger schools because of that strength of schedule thing.
I mean, I feel like Cal and them should just go back to the what you call them.
Where are they right now?
They in the ACC.
Cal?
Yeah,
California?
Yes.
Well, I got a lot of catching up to do. That's
Yes,
crazy.
they moved to the ACC. They traveling the most miles for any team. Like it's wild.
Atlantic Coastal Conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, California, you can come. Yeah, I don't get it. It kind of messes. Well, it makes it interesting, but but I don't know. I don't know. That's weird.
Um. Next thing I want to go over. A lot of people. I don't know if y'all been up under a rock, but I hate this shit when it happened. I've been telling people about this for the longest, man. Alabama had this kid, Ron Williams. It's not just him though that's really doing well, but he's the one that's catching attention. Actually, the best one we got was the one who locked them up in the state championship, Jalen Mbakwe. But Ron Williams, 17-year-old sensation, man, been balling out at Alabama, dog. He been doing it. Hollywood Williams, first ever 5+ star we ever got at receiver to play there. But anyway, he's from Sarland, Alabama.
Hmm.
He's been balling out. 10 receptions, 285 yards, 4 touchdowns over the past 3 games. Here are a few of his highlights right here. Just so y'all can see at the crib, dog. Like this dude has been magnificent, bro. In crunch time. Like y'all say JJ Smith better, but it depends on what you like. If you want a freakish jump ball outside, like I guess you can go JJ. This kid right here, a route runner. I like them route runners, like AB.
Yeah, because when you take away that one thing they can do, what else can you bring?
Right. Because I'm trying to tell people like this gonna be able to perform versus LSU top DBs, all of that, because like his route running, that's what makes him magnificent. It ain't his speed, it's everything else. But Jeremiah Smith, he freakish, but like I said, he ain't like what's my boy over there, like Luther Burton, like them route runners, bro. Like you really see it, bro. They get open whenever they feel like.
How big is this guy? 6 foot?
6'1". I think he's like
6'1"?
6'1", about 175, 180. Gotta put a little
Right.
more weight on him.
And he'll probably grow 2 inches or so.
Yeah, Ryan nice. But Bama got one, man.
Shit, I'm already
JJ
looking
got
at
the
him
route
being.
tree. I don't know, man. I ain't seen it yet. And then you got to think about it. Akron, Western Michigan, and they just played somebody's super pool sauce. They about to play somebody's super pool sauce right now. I'm like, damn, bro. It's like shit.
Just
I mean,
chill.
easy. It's like he good. Like, I gotta see it first. Like I gotta see it versus Michigan or Northwestern or something. Like
I
you know,
mean,
I just
you got to figure like this though, man. Like he could not be doing what he's doing right now.
you're right. You're right.
You know what I mean? He could just be out there blending in with everybody else. So the fact that he is doing it is like it gives the optimism. He deserves the attention. It gives you that optimism that if not he could not be doing what he's doing. The main point.
Nah, you're right. You're right. You're 100% correct. I'm not mad at it. I just like,
But I get your point though. I get your point. Like let's
yeah,
not crown him the greatest receiver ever yet.
yeah, because like I said, Ryan Williams is nice, bro. I can't just say little buddy from Ohio State defense, like because 6'3", what about 220? I mean, I guess people like that. They like what they like, but shit, I always like Ocho Cinco's, Antonio Brown. Like I always thought those receivers was better than Julio's and all that stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's
More
nice. Don't
more
get me
more
wrong. Don't,
agile and versatile and
yeah.
can get
I
in
mean,
and out a little better and not just a huge target that you know.
yeah.
I get it.
Because
That's
look,
why I
think about
always
it.
like
Think about it.
T.O. better. I always like if I was a GM, I pick Terrell Owens before I pick Randy Moss.
Think
Just for
about
the
it
simple,
though.
yeah,
You rather want, I mean, because think about it when you got the DBs like Jalen Ramsey and Sauce Gardner and
they can
what's my
match up.
that Tennessee, the 6'2", L'Jarius Sneed, like that can match up with that size. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a
It
reason
knows
why
it out now.
DK do horrible versus them type of DBs because now I just can't out athleticism you. Like
Right,
I gotta do something else. I gotta use my refined skills. Like you see what I'm
right.
saying? Like this is something. Like, and it's like, oh shit, the refined skills it takes to play DB is like shit. Yeah, you got to think about it. Jalen Ramsey and all of them work on their refined. I'm not just 6'2", 6'3". I also work on my refined skills in order to check the Tyreeks and the ADs and the route runners. You know what I'm saying? So if you one of
Can't
those,
just be a size bully.
yeah, you can't just be a size bully on them boys. That's why I was like, I like guys like Ryan Williams, Luther Burton. You know what I mean? Like those guys that really be running routes, like because in crunch time, bro, you really see it. Like when we need somebody to break open. Oh, number two, like he always open when you need him. Like this is the second game in a row where we have seen it. Crunch time, open where we need him. So I got to go with the route runners, man. You know, because sometimes you're gonna get quarterbacks like Jalen Milroe. He wouldn't know how to throw to a JJ Smith. A lot of the times with them dudes, why they're so special, you still got to throw the ball while they covered. A lot of quarterbacks is not gonna have that encoded in their brain to just say fuck it. I'm just gonna say fuck it. Like, not every quarterback gonna do that to see them crazy catches. You see what I'm saying? Because that's literally what it be. That's why them catches be so crazy because he be fully covered and then he'll just jump up, take the ball off their head or some shit. Like, bro, like every quarterback not gonna want to do that versus Ryan, a nigga that's gonna run around. Oh shit, he wide open. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like
right.
shit. He had made the DB fall. That's how I know he open. Like I saw this DB fall right here. You know, so it's like it's a little easy to throw to me. Last thing of the college football, bro. Georgia was in a dog fight with Kentucky, boy.
They say that always happen though. If you talk about matchups, they say
Yeah,
Kentucky always give Georgia a tough matchup. So, I'll be alarmed when Kentucky learns how to win those tough matchups. But
yeah, true. They got close. Who?
right.
If the draft was right now, who is QB1? To me, QB1 to me, bro. It'll probably be Jackson Dart. Then Ward from Miami. Shay, do a 3 or 4 to me right now. Because it depends on how you feel about Quinn Ewers. Right now, my QB1 is between Cam Ward and Jackson Dart right now, for a fact. Like, yeah. I'm really trying to think right now. Like, you can't really put nobody above them guys right now. They playing the best football that I could think of right now. And that quarterback from UNLV, I ain't gonna lie, that little nigga right there, he getting off. But I gotta that quarterback for UNLV, boy, that boy shaking the whole world up right now. What's the buddy name? Let me go look this up. They just beat motherfucking Kansas. I was so upset. Man. Fuck my fucking shit.
Hey, who won that Duper game?
Them niggas must watch the show, boy. Notre
I tell
Dame
you,
must watch the show,
I
boy.
tell you, I
They
tell
beat
you.
the shit out of Purdue. 66. I was like, God damn. I was like, did y'all watch the show and got mad, bro? I was like, bro, they beat the shit out of Purdue. I'm talking about they scored. Duper got the ball. Them y'all, they got that shit back. I'm like, oh, bro, like, stop. I was like, stop it, I say. Stop.
No, you got to bring back you got to bring back that finky. So many broken bottles all over the field.
Enough. Stop this. Stop it. They have nothing to do with what I said. What they do, but stop it.
So check this out. Check this out. In a universal extent, I might have contributed to that because I was at work and a guy with all Notre Dame walked in and I'm like, hey, question. So I was put on the spot on our podcast, man. Y'all gonna beat Purdue? And bro just opened up and started telling me everything wrong with Notre Dame and this is that and their defense is actually good and it's the coach and the quarterbacks are. He went all in the details, so he probably went back and was like, "Hey, these niggas down here think yo."
Mixed son was out that bitch. I'm talking about car wrecks.
Wow.
And I know Brian Urlacher played played with chocolate like that. It threw me through a loop. You know, I
always have vote for Urlacher though.
I did too. I always fuck with him for some odd reason. Never knew that was a reason. Same thing with Dirk. Like I never knew like why I liked it.
Dirk was cool. Like, he had a cool vibe about him too.
It was just like even though he was like in the Western Conference, it was like
yeah. But
like,
it was
even
still
we
cool.
got swept by him. It was like,
all right.
I mean, I ain't mad at it.
Nah, it turned into Dirk where you better win that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You better win that shit. Like,
but yeah, he got a son that plays safety. That boy was car wrecks. Bro, he was, oh my gosh, bro. Like every time that quarterback, when I was telling you about Carson Hudson Card or whatever, man, he hit that nigga so hard. I was like, man, I'm sorry, Notre Dame.
Hey, Notre Dame coach must have gave them boy the secret stuff, boy. They found it.
That nigga showed them niggas that podcast or us up there talking.
Yeah.
Niggas just like,
see,
you got people up here.
Yeah, right.
Guys, we're finna fuck these guys up today. Like, this kid parlay is over with. Like we're finna fuck his parlay up. Like, bro, they punished him, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Like,
that's crazy.
Close, bro. Like it was bad, bro. It was 28. I knew my money was gone because it was 35 nothing at halftime. I was looking at that shit like, yeah, that shit.
Kind of put a damper on the rest of your day.
It is gone. Hey, before we get into these parlays and stuff in the back hour, bro, I want to go ahead and get into this, man. What's up with Shannon Sharpe, man? The nigga, I ain't even gonna play that because I don't even want the spirits on the podcast, man. But he went live, he up there, you know, punching or whatever the case may be. That's my Michelle. They found her too. She thicker than her. I ain't gonna lie. Niggas real detectives out here. But anyway, yeah, come up that line. Oh, I ain't even know how to go live, and it's a whole process to go live, y'all. Like it's a whole process. Like you gotta swipe over, click. If you've never been live before, in order for it to go live, you have to enable your camera to go live. So for him to be like, oh, I did it by mistake and all that shit, it's just a bunch of bullshit. Then he promos some rhino pills after that. But all of this was when he had them gay allegations going on too. So how you feel about that, Jerome?
I'm saddened. I'm saddened.
Yeah, we voted for Uncle Shay, man.
Yeah, man. And obviously the industry getting to him. Some type of pressure getting to him.
Somebody did say that.
I was yeah, in some way, shape, or form, because his ritual been unstarted. When Skip talked to him how he did, when he came out with that little purse on, when Shaq came out and said, went off on him, and the one thing I didn't like what Shaq did at all. I think it's childish. I think Shaq is childish in general, but he did say in that thing, let's not forget that I know what you did to get where you are. Oh, my Spidey senses started going up. Well, what did he do? What do you know? And it's the same stuff you've been doing? Like, so, I mean, if you've been paying attention, you kind of seen this coming from a mile away. But I genuinely think that if so, when we jump off our far end of what we are alleging most times, I think that Uncle Shannon is just one of them ones who's real and like just got caught up in the whirlwind, bro. Like after that Cat Williams interview, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. To be determined, bro. But I didn't even watch the video because when I saw the titling and everybody's talking about it, I'm like, hey, you already know what it is, man.
Yeah.
Like, what are the chances that you could be in a position that you're in and that happens? Along with all the allegations and everything like that. Like, it's just to do what it's doing and get people to talk about it. And he probably gonna come up with another bomb ass interview or new show or something pretty soon.
Like I said, he promoted them penis pills or whatever that shit he was promoting.
Right.
Rhino pills. Just a disclaimer out here. None of you niggas need that shit. You want to know what rhino pills is from nature? Go take your big bad body ass on a jog. Cardio, blood flow keeps everything strong and running.
Yeah, the boys say keep your socks on too while you're doing. Keep your feet warm. Keep the blood, flowing down there and stuff.
But I do that cardio, so I'm barefooted. Good traction.
I keep my socks on, bro.
It depends on who it is. Like if
Yeah.
little, if it's your gal,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you get real vulnerable with her a little bit, But yeah, man, for real though,
It's
go
corny,
do
man.
cardio.
It's corny, man. Like it's corny. You don't gotta take nothing, bro. And if
You
you
don't
if
have
you feel like you gotta take something, you're probably doing too much.
that is also true. You
You're
probably
doing
using
too
it too
much.
much. Yeah, too much of anything is bad.
Right.
Remember that. Moderation. That don't need to rule your world anyway, man. Well, there's that, Javon.
But
So
yeah,
you might
off
as
that,
well
man,
get
because
into it.
Uncle Shannon
Yeah,
doesn't disappoint. Yeah, he doesn't disappoint me.
yeah. Shame on Uncle Shannon, man. So pick three, man. I guess we could call this guess the script or pick three parlay. For some people at home, this our week 2 parlay. From our week 1 parlay, I want to see what was the rundown. I can't remember what we.
Oh, you jotted our choices?
Yeah, I did. So I went with Chargers,
Word.
Commanders. So I went 2-1. You went Jags, Raiders, Cowboys. You went 1-2.
2-1. 1-2.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Raiders
because
lost, right?
Raiders. No, but
Lost.
Jags covered.
Oh yeah, with the spread. You right.
Are we doing spreads or we just doing outright?
Yeah, we did the spreads. You right. I just
Yeah,
went
so I
outright.
went 2-1 too.
I went outright.
No, I'd rather do it outright. I'd rather do it
Yeah.
outright, bro.
I just rather do it
We
outright.
can. Me too.
Keep it going.
So
Keep it going outright.
you ready to
So
make
we'll start over
these
outright.
picks?
Yeah. So the 3 games I picked Carolina over the Chargers.
Wow.
I know that sound crazy, bro, but
After
I
they
gotta
just
do it.
announced their tickets are on sale for $1.80. Well, what you think about that? I know we keep segueing, but I gotta add like $1.80.
The build up.
Build up what?
They're gonna be good or decent, 8-9, 9-8, and then they're gonna like I told y'all, and then that's when they go get a splash player, and then them tickets gonna be $1,800.80. You should have got it when it was $1.80. Remember?
Well, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that because that's my overall prediction for that team. I do think they go 8-9, 7-10-ish type of thing, and
I think they even go 9-8, and we look back on them first games and be like, damn, like because it's a narrative behind everything. We're
right.
just talking about the script, bro. Like Bryce Young from Alabama, bro. Like I don't think they let him fall that flat, bro. Like, that's bad, bro. Like, I don't think they let him fall off a map like that. Like, first overall pick, like, because he not bad. Like, it ain't like he just bad. You see what I'm saying? He just small, bro, but I don't think the team is also set up around him. Like,
It's not. That's my whole point. Like after Bryce Young, who else? No disrespect to the Panthers players, but I'm just looking at team like my
like
team.
they don't even play hard for him. Like, that's the fucked up part about it. Like, at least the Texans play hard for CJ. Like them receivers, like what they had, Malcolm Brown and yeah, Tank Dell and them. Like they was good receivers, but they wasn't the tippy top.
They grew together.
Yeah, and for like if you look at how they played for him, bro, you would think they was top receivers.
But see, here's the thing. Tank Dell is going to do that because allegedly CJ Stroud vouched for him to get drafted. And I think that more so reflects on the organization and the coach. D'Amico Ryans is a reflection of that team playing like that. And the Panthers have, no disrespect, I don't even know his name. And like prior to that, I didn't know, like you didn't really hear his name like that in the coaching ranks. And then your owner is an idiot. Well, no disrespect, he is new to his position and he's still making new owner mistakes. Like, you know what I mean? So there's no stability. This reminds me a lot of the Jamarcus Russell situation in a way. Like, if you send somebody to a organization that's in shambles, how can you expect for that one player just to come in and you need ecosystems to make things happen. And my point was, and I'll get off it, I'm looking at teams like the Jaguars 3 years ago spend the most money ever in free agency, come back, dump all, like they're putting money everywhere, they're getting coaches, we're adding players, and this is just to be in the consideration to compete with the Chiefs and stuff like that. So when I look at the Panthers, it's like, I mean, even the Texans did it, bro. Texans broke the bank to put players around their future. So I don't know. It's hard for me to just jump on Bryce Young like that. And then that's why you sit quarterbacks, because you don't want them to get shell shocked. He probably shell shocked, man. Yeah, I am 5'9", and I got to run for my life every single play. There's nobody around me. I don't see no hope. My owner don't know what he doing. Like, they probably ruined him, if anything. But again, I'm not a Carolina Panther fan, so I don't put my 10,000 hours there. But I hope that it's not what it's looking like.
I get EJ on here, man. Maybe he'll have some insight for us one week.
Shit, Larry too. That boy gung ho about the Panthers.
Larry don't be want to talk, man. Larry full of shit. You can tell him I said that. All that knowledge, and he just get up here and be shy, man. It's just us, Javon. It's just us.
But that's you got Larry. That's Larry nature. Like he ain't that debate type. Like he gonna play it cool, and then when it's time for him to talk, he'll talk. But if we talking, he gonna wait for his space to talk. But I'm gonna tell him though. I'm gonna tell him. But make your picks, bro, because make
Carolina over the Chargers, Commanders over the Giants, Broncos over the Steelers. I picked all the upsets except for the Commanders over the Giants.
Yeah, I think you balanced it out well. Like you picked an extreme, like WTF pick, and then like you picked a safe one with the Giants and Commanders. It could be an upset, but both of them teams, like I looked at that matchup and got mad. What was the last one? Yeah, it just felt like a wasted spot.
That's how you know it's bad, bro. Like when you see it,
I got mad when I saw that Giants.
Like, can we put Alabama right here?
Yeah, that would be more interesting.
Like, yeah, I'd rather watch Alabama play the Chargers.
I'm sure more people will travel out for your event.
Yeah. That shit might really sell out. Though.
Yeah, you're gonna have the high selling. You had the
Hey,
best thing smoking in
we
town.
might watch this. Like,
Yeah, best show in town.
yeah. And what's so crazy? This can go on y'all win loss record. Like we do. They gonna come out here in their Bama uniform, but they gonna play for y'all win loss record.
Right. It's a win-win.
Like, it's a win-win.
You can't lose. You got to think about this.
Yeah.
So my
Bryce
picks.
over there, like, can I go
You know
back
what?
and play
Yeah, can I do that?
Can I go over there and play?
There's got to be some rule you can make, right?
Yeah.
Help me! That he got.
Alabama O-line right now
Would do better.
is better than seriously, because they got a bunch of juniors and
But now you see my point. I'm watching Jacksonville and I'm watching Trevor Lawrence and they might be one lineman down or something. No, I ain't gonna lie. Our slot line crazy was crazy last year. But I'm just saying they are putting pieces around this guy and fine tooth combing that. Like you gotta at least start with your O line, man. Like if I got a young quarterback like that and he undersized, I'm liable to spend the next 4 or 5 drafts just drafting my linemen one by one. The Cowboys kind of did that, like back when it was the Dez era, because I remember living in Oklahoma after they had their glory years. It seemed like they were trying to buy a championship, but it was a gap where they slowed down and they drafted them linemen one by one, and it was not sexy during the time, like, oh, you drafted, but when it all panned out after them 2 or 3 years, they got a great wall. So therefore, now we can really see what your quarterback is or isn't, because he at least has the time, like to 3 seconds, 2 seconds at least, and he has a run game now. So I don't know, man. Sometimes the way these teams be set up, we feel like we can just step in and just be like, what are you doing? Like, it's not that hard, but time will tell, man.
Man, but then again, they make you feel like, well, maybe it is.
It is. It might be. Because then you got to think about it like this, right? A GM, his job is essentially to recruit players, call them, have conversation. You know how hard that is when your owner is on record of throwing drinks on people and he got a reputation of doing this. Like, we went through that in Jacksonville a little bit with Trent Baalke. They were saying that Trent Baalke didn't have the best reputation. So when you're trying to attract players to come and play, they might be like, nah, bro, I ain't coming there, bro. Like, what? Nah. So that what the product on the field could be like, it could get tricky. I can imagine being a GM. And you got to manage personalities. You got to make sure this person, just because it makes sense to us, we're watching, you don't know the personality of this player. That might not be good for the overall mixture of what you're trying to build as far as your culture. So you might look and, it's obvious. Why didn't you sign this person? Well, he might not fit. He might come in and be more of a cancer. And now you just invested in that. So it's a lot that comes with that.
True. Who your 3 picks? Again, I got Carolina over the Chargers, Commanders over the Giants, Broncos over the Steelers.
I need a little help from you with the home and away, but my games were the Colts and Packers, Saints and Cowboys, Bucks and Lions. So I went with the games that intrigue me the most.
Bucks at Lions, Saints at Cowboys, Colts at Packers.
I got the Packers winning, the Colts starting 0-2, but the Colts being one of them scrappy teams that might win next week and be like 1-2, and then they might creep up and be like 2-2, and then lose like one more. Like, they might beat them the up and down team, so they can afford a loss here. Rough start, they come home, right the ship type of deal. Well, no, they were at home last week, so I don't know. Packers played that weird game in Brazil. I'm gonna go with, my gut is telling me the Colts. I'm gonna go with the Colts right now. Saints and Cowboys. I'm rolling with the Cowboys on that. And Bucks and Lions, man, that's a hard one, especially after when we talked last week. Like the perspective you put, I would have just said Lions, but the Bucks are kind of a dangerous team, man. Like, uh, I'm gonna take the Lions too, because I think they have more to stand on and prove right now. Like you're being considered for like a Final Four member, a Super Bowl contender, and it's at home. They're gonna do whatever they have to do to find a way to stop the Bucks' momentum. So I picked the Colts, the Cowboys, and the Lions. Yep. Definitely not sure about any of them, but I'm gonna go with my gut.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all you got.
That's all you got. A lot of times I go against it though. Like my
Yeah.
first mind will pop up and it'll be like, and then I'll be like, well, and then end up just picking against myself. So I'm getting off that. Do what my gut tell me. That Colts and Packers one is the trickiest one though, to be honest. That's the trickiest one.
To me, all these shits is tricky. Cause it's like you could be like, yeah, I see it, and then when the game unfolds, you be like, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
We didn't think about that. But I think it's easier when you start following like one team. Like follow one team because you can better track the storylines and the narratives and up and downs, and then all you have to compare it to is who is in front of you. I think when we're bouncing around, like that's too many teams to cover. We would literally have to like, and we can get to this point now, but we would literally have to like go to every city and subscribe to their news stations, subscribe to their teams, and watch their press conferences. Because a lot of the sauce be spilled in the press conferences and stuff. The demeanors of the coaches, the things they repeat, the things they constantly say, like that's how you can pick up on the script too. Like what I told you about Doug Peterson and stuff, and like the responses that he was giving, it really wasn't like very vague and it didn't make sense. And you could tell he was irritated. So I'm like, that's probably when these coaches be running into like not liking to do this.
yeah.
Like they might literally be like, all right, first half, you can play it how you want to, but then you never know, bro. You never know. But yeah, we can get to that point, bro. But until then, I think focusing on one team, you with Miami right now, you need to stay in Miami.
That's what you say.
You need to stay in Miami. At least until you can figure it out.
Yeah. I called the Bills though. Come on now. I figured that out.
But
and then I said we was gonna beat y'all.
Yeah. But that's my point. Stay with your one team and see that through because like you learn in the system. It don't even really matter about the team. You learn the system because if you find out about your team, you're going to naturally find out about the neighboring three teams in the division. And then you can start stepping out into the in-division, out-of-conference rivalries. And then there's a storyline about their other conference rival. Like it's all storylines, bro. I know my team's one. I can almost tell what type of game is going to be because the history, like I've watched every game in our history. So I know historically, like, how they match up. Like it's the Browns.
I just think that's what I'm saying with the Panthers and the Chargers. Because the Chargers got this conservative play style that shit with Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh, bro. And in my opinion, watching that game with the Saints, they just jumped out on the Panthers. Like they didn't give them chance to breathe, if that makes sense. Like, and then it was like every 3 and out, every mistake led to a touchdown or led to
so it's like the rain came and we was still sleeping. We ain't closed the windows.
Yeah. Versus with the Chargers, they're gonna play a slower pace, which in return is going to allow them to make those mistakes.
Who did the Chargers play last week?
Chargers played the Raiders.
They had to play more conservative because that's an in-division opponent. I'm thinking that when they see what happened to the Panthers and just the blatant disrespect they're gonna show today, I think you're gonna see
I didn't cage Javon because look, Herbert just pass the ball over the field regardless of who he played.
Right.
Even that, I think that's just how Harbaugh and Roman play coach.
Right.
Like you know what I mean? And that's why I say I think that play style will help Bryce Young. You know what I mean? He'll
Right.
be able to go 3 and out and really be able to see like, oh shit, this what was going on. You know what I mean? Because they're gonna be taking time to score the ball. Like even if they do score the ball, they're gonna take. That's Greg Roman nature. He want to score in 10 plays, 13 plays. That's what he want to do.
So in other words, you know how it goes. If we find ourselves down by 14 in the first quarter, we gotta abandon the damn game plan, like or whatever, third, like. So they basically never even got a chance to implement a game plan if they had it. Right.
Man, they jumped out so quick on the Panthers, dog. I was
Hey,
watching that shit.
you know a Madden when like it's a sudden change play, and then when you got the ball and it's a woozy, like the crowd be whistle. The one playing woozy the whole game, man.
I had did that shit in NCAA, bro. The game was tied up, bro. Man, I threw a bomb and got 2 pick sixes back to back. Like the game just swung open. So you just see it, bro. Like when that shit happened like that, even on the game, like the game show you like the momentum is just like it fucks everything up, bro. Like like everything you was thinking positive, you say you can't even think positive no more. You don't even want to hear no nigga talking about some next play. Like, bitch, make a play.
Yeah. And then you got 80,000 people in a dome yelling and screaming, and they playing artificial noise with that. Yeah.
On top of this, you getting sacked by a nigga like Roderick.
Like literally twice your size. And literally trying to fall on you hard so you can get hurt.
Bro. That's what they doing. They falling on you hard, bro. Like, and they probably tell him, little ass nigga, and he just there like, come on, bro.
Right.
You know Bryce Young a reserve. That's why I like him, bro. Like, it make me mad, bro, because I know he a cool little nigga, bro. Like, he probably like getting sacked. Like, come on.
That's why I say he probably shell shocked by now.
Because you see, he didn't get on that boat, and him and CJ Stroud best friends.
That's why I believe it's gonna be a storyline. Like, I mean, we'll see, man. I hope not. I vote for Bryce.
I do, man. He a good little nigga, man. Like, he never like. He was always like soft, but even when he had that bad O-line at Alabama, like, don't get me wrong, I ain't mad at what Shedeur did, but you saw like Bryce never. Like he'll always really come back to the sideline and be like, "That's my fault." You know what I mean? Like I got it. You know, it's something else I could have did. You know, like, and even if it's nothing that he could have did, it was just, you know, wild. Even one week, Nick Saban had to speak up for them boys. That boy Nick Saban grabbed him and Will Anderson. He was like, "Before y'all leave, I want y'all to know this. These probably the best 2 players I ever coached. They had a lot of pressure on them this year. Well, it was all on them to make a play." And they did the best they could with what they had, you know, and it was just like, that was real. Nick Saban had to get up there and say that, bro, because I felt them, bro. Like, Bryce was running for his life at Alabama. That last year, he was running for his life, bro. I ain't never seen no Alabama O-line like that. I'm like, what the fuck is... It's like, bro, these niggas don't even have time to throw the ball, bro. I'm like, bro, like, you can't even make a read in that amount of time. You know what I mean?
And then, bam, not to cut you off. I'm sorry, I did that a lot.
No, go ahead, bro.
Got to audit myself. But the point is, I remember this now. Wasn't it a thing going on in Carolina where like the owner wanted CJ Stroud, and then like
D'Amico Ryans actually wanted Bryce Young.
So if you're playing for an organization that didn't even want you.
Well, they made it seem like they didn't want him because D'Amico Ryans even said he'll take Bryce Young, but when he got CJ Stroud, it was, you know, they caught it around him. You know what I mean? Like, even if you don't want this dude, like, don't make it seem like you don't want him. They did that shit in Miami. Brian Flores did that shit with Tua. Talking about some, I wish I would have got Herbert. I'm shopping him for Deshaun Watson right now. Like, bro, you can't do shit like that, bro. Like, you got him. Like, I mean, figure it out. They do it with them other lighter tone quarterbacks. Like, y'all don't vocally come out and say, "Oh, I don't want Alex Smith," and he was 7 offensive coordinators deep. Now, one time the niggas just be like, "Man, I don't want this dude." They
They
forced
never that was crazy. He got like 10 years before.
7 offensive. That nigga was known as the OC killer, nigga.
Mm.
I ain't trying to hear that, bro. I remember this shit, bro. Like, I vividly remember this shit, bro. Like, I ain't trying to hear that, bro. But then all of a sudden, certain quarterbacks come along. Oh man, I can't coach him. I wish I had this dude. Like, bro, why y'all don't keep the same energy? What about Josh Allen first 2 years, when he was about to be a bust? You ain't hear nobody say, "Oh, I don't want him." Nah, Dable came over there, figured it out, got a good playbook together, then got Stephon Diggs the next year. They figured it out, and they molded him into what we see today. They built his confidence. That's why he think he can Superman everything, because they probably sat in there and made him feel like the whole world is his. Literally, bro, you could do that with a quarterback, bro. That's why.
You gotta do it.
That's a
You
lot of
gotta
his
do it.
problems right now, bro. That's a lot of his problems right now. Is what is it? Oh man, he tried to Superman every play, and that's because them coaches got in his head. He was about to be a bum out there, 50%, throwing 50%. He's about to
So
be a bust.
imagine what his fellow Alabamian quarterback is going through in Carolina,
Yeah,
as far as being like showing support and not just saying we believe in you, but bringing in pieces by any means necessary, like just doing whatever. Hey, your owners start with not making the news for throwing drinks on people. Like all of that matters, all of it matters. But
they
yeah, bro,
changed. They get them good quarterback coaches. All of that. Josh Allen got what you call my boy that played basketball and football. I interviewed him, man. I'm so mad I don't remember his name, man. Played at North Carolina.
basketball and football, and he played with who now?
North Carolina. He played
Oh,
point
he
guard and
plays.
quarterback.
Where he play right now?
He old as hell now.
Oh,
He a
okay.
coach. He Josh Allen quarterback coach now.
Let me see.
Fuck, bro. What's this shit? Ronald Curry.
Okay. Oh, I remember him. I do
Yeah,
remember
yeah,
him.
yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah,
do
yeah.
remember him.
They got him for quarterbacks coach. Then they got a new offensive play caller for Josh Allen, man. Bro, I gotta look this shit up,
Because
bro.
they
I
got
ain't
rid
know.
of Ken Dorsey.
They got rid of Ken Dorsey, man. Miami boy. I remember him when he played at Miami, Roscoe Parish.
I couldn't stand
I'm
him,
old
boy.
as shit, bro. The
I
fact that
cannot.
I remember that, bro. You remember him in Roscoe Parish?
Yeah, Ken Dorsey was a part of that super team. They had Andre Johnson and shit with Ken Dorsey back
Yeah.
then. I could not stand them, but I was a Florida State fan. But when you look back, I thought it was really cool to see him continue coaching and stuff, because he was a part of some special shit.
Yeah, he was.
His name don't get brought up a lot either in like conversations with that. Maybe because of the team that was around him, but Ken Dorsey was there. But the point I'm taking from what you're saying is you see the difference in organization and how they support and foster and nurture the players they have.
Yeah, because look, even though they got rid of Dable, bro, like they got Sean McDermott, Joe Brady. Yeah, I think that's who it was. They had Joe Brady up in there calling them plays, bro.
To
And I
your
was just
point,
looking.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. I was like, bro, they invested in Buddy. Like, even when they get rid of a coach who, had something to do with developing Josh Allen, they made sure they got another coach that was just gonna keep it going. You know what I mean?
Keep it going. But I will say this too. That shit in Buffalo wasn't overnight.
True.
Like Buffalo is one of them teams that I secretly kind of root for when I can. But like they were terrible for so long, we know that, but they started slowly building. It started
They
with the
did.
coach, and then they popped up a little bit. That's when we played them in the AFC Championship game, or the wild card. I'm sorry, but they always had a solid defense, and they steadily built because they had their coach, and then they drafted their quarterback. Then it was another year or two before they were like okay, they solid. So that was 2017, 2018. So it's 6 years later. They've really been building this structure for the last 10, 15 years. But that's to your point though about not giving up so soon. And I believe that too. That's why like people talk about that in Jacksonville all the time. Is Trevor Lawrence a bust? He ain't this. He's supposed to be generational. I'm like, bruh, in year three, just the last 2 years, we've had
Oh no, no,
18
no. I
wins.
told people this, bro. That first rookie season alone with Coach with Coach Urban Meyer, the fact that he was able to fucking mentally still be invested in playing football and he put up 3,000 yards is like impressive alone. Like that should get him at least Hall of Fame, like second ballot Hall of Fame for his career, bro. I don't think people understand like how bad. Like, bro, literally, brother, this nigga Urban Meyer kicked the kicker
Yeah, he kicked the kicker.
after the Browns game. He out there with his finger.
Listen, listen, listen. We went to Ohio, lost the game on
Off the
national
game.
television, and he proceeds to bullshit them in the locker room and say, "Hey, y'all go ahead and go home. I'll catch up with you." Goes to his bar and gets caught in 4K cuffing some ass.
Like literally finger. What that boy Future said. I'ma put a thumb in a.
He was doing it.
He was doing it. He's married, by the way.
Yeah.
Let me throw that out there.
But I want to make this point and talk about my boys a little bit. A lot of people throw that bus thing around, and I can remember growing up, I am equally as old as Bama, if not greater than. Like Peyton Manning was terrible for a good while. I said that last time, throwing 30 interceptions a year type terrible. Drew Brees didn't become Drew Brees, even though he wasn't bad. He just had injuries, things happen, setbacks. He started with the Chargers. Um, if Tom Brady wasn't written in to be who he is, you never know. Drew Bledsoe never get. It takes time, man. That used to be the biggest difference. I remember when the Steelers were experimenting with Cordell Stewart. It was years on end. Like it just wasn't this. We expect you to come in and take us to the play, like be the savior. Kind of like what CJ Stroud did. You know, he did come right in and do that. But
I
when that
didn't expect
happens,
him to, bro. Like even I tell people this, even when I was on Players Choice, the talk of everybody on podcasts, ESPN, everywhere, everybody was like, okay, we expect them to come in and at least win 3-4 games. Like that was the talk. Like, oh, if they can win 5 games, 7 games, that's a success. You know what I mean? Like everybody was like, oh, 7-10 would be such a great season, or 6-11. That'd be such a great season coming from where they came from. That was the talk, Javon. It wasn't no they finna win in the. It wasn't none of that. That it wasn't no expectations that first year. So I tell people with CJ having that first year he had, it was literally because he was comfortable, bro. Because they set the expectation of, hey, bro, go out there, have fun. This is just a have fun year. Have fun. Throw a million picks if you got to. This is just a learning year. Everybody understands that. No pressure, bro. Like I promise, no pressure. But it got to a part to when they went out there and they was having fun, them little niggas was relaxed. And it was like, oh shit. Wait a second. We might actually be good.
man, the
But
hell with all that. That nigga went on that boat, man.
said that boat. But I'm just saying though, if you just really think about it though, bro, like that whole thing with them was we got a year or two. They gave D'Amico Ryans a 6-year contract instead of a 2.
Right.
Like they did Lovey Smith. Everything was we got this first year we good. It wouldn't no do what they just did.
And you know, it does reflect on the organization because now that I think about it, we watched the Houston Texans be born and it was rough, but they've had a certain sense of doing it the right way. They've had a few notable quarterbacks, you know what I mean? So they had that sense of stability. A lot of them guys initially came from the Patriots. So, like, there's a lot of that influence there. So, It doesn't surprise me. Houston ain't no slap around franchise since they've been in,
And then
especially
D'Amico
not with
Rhymes is over
us.
there, defensive coordinator with the fucking linebackers
My
coach with
my
the
point.
49ers. What?
So here it goes. That's my point. You know to go get the young upstart coach in the league, whereas in Carolina, like you gotta bring somebody with some presence in there. No
Yeah,
disrespect.
true.
You know what I mean? And I hate saying that because all of these guys do things. Like they're there for a
So
reason.
you saying they should have bought Deshaun Foster in instead of letting him go to UCLA?
Something. You need something. You need some type of star power. And I hate to put it that way, but you do. Your coach can be a star too. You need some type of star power, or at least some tremendous upside to match with your quarterback, or kind of shoulder that load with you. You got a guy that doesn't really have a name like that, or nobody was talking about him being the next best thing like that to pair along with a bunch of other guys trying to. It just doesn't make sense, man. And I really think it just has to do with that owner. Like it really does. So it's a lot of things that can make an NFL team work or not work for real. But that whole bus shit, we need to stop that, man. We need to get back to real life. Like we need to put down these phones and go walk outside and you know what I mean? Stop expecting everything to happen so fast. Like let stuff play out, bro. You really got people in Jacksonville talking down on what they're doing now. Doug Peterson's been there for 2 years. We have 18 wins. The 2 years before that, we had four. Like, what are y'all complaining about? Like, I'd rather have a 10, 15 year run of having a chance and being, competent rather than do what we did in 2017 and you go out of this world just to come right back down so fast. So, I don't know. Words of wisdom, slow down, take your time, man. Slow down,
I
take your
think so
time.
too. I told people Caleb Williams wasn't gonna go off like what everybody was thinking. He's talking about some old first game where he finna light it up. I'm like, bro, man, this nigga a rookie, bro. Like, I tell people this, bro. The best because, like I said, I'm gonna go back again. People don't understand how well I can throw the ball. Like, I really can throw the ball well. Like, I'm talking about, like, I could be a pretty good quarterback, like decent, like quarterback. But the movie that summed it up the best, Any Given Sunday, when Jamie Foxx first got put in the game and he saw the receiver go across the screen like that, and he threw the ball and blinked, and the DB came out of nowhere and picked it off. Welcome to the NFL, bro. I'm
So,
trying to
Bam,
tell
let
niggas,
me
like,
ask you a question though, because I've always thought about that, like the quarterback's perspective and just how hard it is. Like, so is it more so that they really have to be so mentally locked in and cerebral to know, like, okay, I see this coverage. Like, I don't know if my man's going to be there, but I know he has to be in that area. So I have to really trust on throwing it to this area because that's where it's supposed to be. Like,
that
so it's
ball
not
Trevor
so much,
Lawrence threw to Brian Thomas.
oh man,
Oh
talk about
my
it.
fucking gosh, bro.
Talk
He
about it.
threw the ball and it went through two levels of defense, like to where Brian just boom. And I was like,
It
bro,
looks so
that's
effortless
beautiful.
that we can look at it and be like, oh, okay, that was easy. It's probably like the
It's not
hardest throw, like,
hardest throw you can ever throw. I'm trying to tell people at home, to the untrained eye, that throw right there, you locked in mentally. Like, you in a zone. Like, it's a weird zone you got to be in to throw that, because it's like he saw him. That shit is fire, bro. That's why I said, bro, playing quarterback, that's the skill right there. Like, we saw literally, like, the skill of playing quarterback right there. Like people
but
underestimated, like,
how is it
them
the real?
50-yard bombs. Them
Yeah,
50-yard bombs is not. It's impressive, but that's just arm strength. Like what T Law did, dog. Like, we saw, like, that's the skill
but
of
is
playing
there
quarterback.
ever a point where it's like, because T-Law like 6'7", so that's one thing, right? Is there ever a point where the quarterback gets into it where he's just playing? And what I mean by that is I can actually snap this ball and just like look and see. Okay, bim. or is it all like anticipation regardless?
But look, even when they short though, you still can get in that zone, bro, because he's a short quarterback still can do the same thing because he's doing that off the rip anyway.
I shouldn't have said that because that wasn't a part of my point. I was just saying like him being 6'7", like he can see over stuff. So like once he gets comfortable, it's just like I'm playing ball. Whereas like anybody, no matter your height, like when you're first in there, it's kind of better that you know where you're going with the ball. Like, you know what I mean? Like when all else fails, I know he should be over there. That's my read. I should do it. Like I just want to know what the real flow is like, bro. Like the real flow. Like, is it all like anticipation and or is it just okay,
It's
I
a
see
mixture of
he's
both
open.
quick decision making, anticipation, all of that. It's
Does it
everything.
vary by
Yeah,
play?
it
Like
do.
on this play right here, I know
It
I gotta
vary by
throw the
the
ball.
defense, it vary by the route, everything, because you know the plays. Like so you processing all of that shit. Like Cam Newton said it the best. When you walk out, so you call the play, whatever the play is, you got certain routes or whatever. Based off the coverage, bro, you finna throw half of them routes away. Like for instance, if you walk in and you see they in the cover two and you got a dig and a post and a slant in the street, you already know you probably about to throw the slant and the dig. Like you already about to throw those out. You finna just botch those. Like I ain't even finna throw this. I see they in the cover two. So that you instantly finna look for that quick window and that fade right there.
So
And you
then
finna look for that post.
your work would be not selling it too soon.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what
So
I do on
now,
Madden.
how
Like,
can
yeah.
I sell them? How can I know the hole is right here, but if I just sit and look at him, they finna flow right there. So what I gotta do? I gotta look him off. I gotta do something that make them think that I'm finna go over here or whatever the case may be, and then come back right here. And then it's a perfect throw from there. Like what T Law did.
It's tough.
Because look, if you look at it, T Law threw the ball in that spot without looking at Brian Thomas. And then when Jalen Ramsey looked and saw Brian Thomas was coming, that's when they reacted. And then you saw that's when they flailed
But
their
see,
arms up and it was
but
like, boom.
okay, here's the detail, right? If I can see him throwing that because he knows what Brian Thomas Jr. was eventually gonna do. You see what I'm saying? Like, or is it the fact that he didn't even know Brian Thomas was gonna be there and it was just like throw it to the back pylon on this play?
No, he knew he was going to be there. That's where the skill come in. It's like, how can I get it there accurately? You see what I'm
So
saying?
I see him actually streaking across the field. I gotta put it
He
right
already, what I'm
there.
trying to tell y'all is them quarterbacks and already scanned that shit. They ain't already peeked. He know what route is coming. Like T-Law probably peeked that shit like, boop, like it was quick. Like he probably when he dropped back and when they do that shit, like don't think it's because they head like this, they just looking like that. Like no, when they helmet like this, they ain't already peeked all of that shit just like that. They ain't already got a
Bro, that
snapshot
shit
and they
gotta
know
be
where
like
everybody gonna be.
that shit gotta be like
It's
I'm just
it's
following. But look, like at an eventual point, it got to be like I'm just following the blur of green. Like there's less white over here, and that green is going this way. Bah! Like, cause that's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Even for like a tool, man, getting the ball out of his hand in like 2 seconds.
that's more so
It's
play
crazy.
call. So that'll just go back to the
True,
dude with the glasses over there. Like
but
for
shit,
him to
that's
be
all.
able,
That's all you really got in the NFL as a quarterback, cause them boy coming. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, then you got linebackers. Then you got DBs. Like, come on, man. That's
But
crazy
I ain't
work
gonna
for
lie, that's
real.
where them boys really show their skill. Like Cam Newton and them boys,
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers and shit. You see little shit like when them boys start playing with them blitzes, Aaron Rodgers be like, hey man, you not coming. I know you finna get out of here. And then they like little shit like that, bro. Like that's when you see Brady start doing them hand signals. It's a game within the game because it's
Yeah,
like
right.
them boys right there know like, oh, the coverage gonna be right here. So this how I'm finna throw the ball to get it over there. Like, because
Right.
T-Law could have did that too. Like, he know Brian Thomas got this post route coming in the back of the end zone. So it's like, I see these guys right here. So this is where I gotta throw it to get over the defense in order for him to get it. You see what I'm saying? Like, they
Yeah.
also making them type of decisions. That's why I like the intermediate game, because you have to make them type of, it's not just, oh, let me hurry up, get the ball out of my hand. oh, let me just throw it hard right here. Like, nah, bro, you gotta figure out ways like to get it through this defense
I
right
got
here.
this crazy analogy in my head as I'm sitting in front of a mixing board. So when I first started producing music, you just got all these knobs. You got all these things saying distortion, compression, blah, blah, blah. When I first started, I was just trying to do shit to make it sound louder. I don't know what I'm doing, but the more hours I put in, like, I know what every one of these knobs do now. So I imagine like that's playing quarterback too. If you get to the point where you could be at the line and you changing things because you see this guy and you know it's like having control. Cause like I'm sure every quarterback can come to the line and he could see something, but he ain't got no communication for that. You know what I mean? Or he don't know how to go about manipulating this or saying that. So it's all about being comfortable, like you said, bro. Like you brought the point home for real. You brought
We
the point
won
home for real.
flag football. Like me and Rashawn was literally out there, like literally talking to each other, like having a whole conversation of route concepts and stuff, going against the defense. They right there. It's like, damn, like, yeah, bro, there's a level of comfortability. Like, hey, run this, you gonna have to catch it like this. But like, and then they just go out there and we able to like, bro, they like, right, y'all really connect. And I was like, bro, it's a level of comfortability. Me and Rashawn understand what it take to play football. He the only other person out here who ain't played at the level I played at, and he understands, you know, hey, mismatches. Hey, bro, Rashawn's get in the slot right here instead and run that route. You see what I'm saying? Versus other people like, hey, bro, you finna say that? He right here, like, bro, fuck that.
It
Rashawn
goes from
understand, bro. Like, yeah.
because if they don't understand the concept you running and why you're running it, it doesn't really matter. It goes from routes, a post and out to like why does a post and out go together? What you're trying to do and accomplish. I get it.
Yeah. So that's why I think, man, the more comfortable you are, the easier the game is, man.
You
Like,
know what? I'm gonna have a confession. I really think that's why I kind of stalled out because I came from a small school and it was just like the athletes are gonna do their thing. So like we just have a simple system like 0660. That's a hitch of post in two post corners with a hitch on the outside. But then when you get to like college and you get to the like the bigger leagues and they're like run this concept a patriot and shit, I was just like, what the fuck does this mean? So like you don't know whether to be like, yo, I don't know what none of this shit mean, or just try to figure it out on your own. And at that point, you're on the field thinking and not actually just playing.
yep.
But I'm pretty sure that was just the next level. I should have took that. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that though, because I want to understand it like that on the fly. You know what I mean? Like the way them quarterbacks got to do it. That's just crazy to me. But yeah, man. Point made. Point made.
Oh, I forgot to ask you, man.
What's up?
The pack we had the transition a better into the afterlife of two legends, man. The reason why I say transition, man, because it ain't no past, it ain't nothing bad. Them boys lived out their life. They ran their course through history, so they transitioned on to the next level.
Right?
But James Earl Jones and Frankie
Frankie
Beverly.
Beverly from the group,
Frankie
the band.
Beverly from the
Yeah.
group. Yeah, Frankie Beverly and Mays passed away. Um, I don't know if you know what James Earl Jones is. He was the old man from Sandlot. He was the voice in Lion King.
He's Mufasa.
Mufasa. He was the dad in Coming to
King,
America.
King Jeffrey Joffa.
Yes, sir. Me myself personally, man, he had like the real hood name, like James Earl Jones. That didn't take no, like that old school though, like old school, because you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
James Earl don't take no shit. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like you've been cutting up with mama
I'm about to
going
say,
there. I'm about to go get James Earl. I'm about to go
or,
James
or,
Earl.
or,
These kids
or,
ain't sitting down.
or that was a hell of a dude when he was coming up.
Yeah,
His mama called him James Earl Jones Jr. If you
yeah,
don't bring it,
yeah. But
that's
hey,
what then you want to call the whole
James
name, boy.
Earl come up in there, whoop the shit out you. What your mama
James
told
Earl. Yeah, yeah.
you? You all
James
scared.
Earl. That's
And
like that's
voice.
like that's like Henry John
Yeah,
Henry George. You got all these
for
heavy ass
sure,
names.
bro. Like that's one of them like names like that though. But you know, rest in paradise to a true legend. And Frankie Beverly, man, like great Southern music. We Are One, Southern
Yes.
Girl, man.
Before I Let Go, Morning After, the list goes on.
Man, the music he made was really good for the soul, though. Recharge you the way you made you need to be. That's why I was like, man, I might need to go back to the South. He was telling me all along, man. He told you about them Southern girls, man.
Yeah, man. And I'll be honest, James Earl Jones, like the amount of work that these guys do over their career is so
Oh
much that
yeah,
you can kind of like get lost in it. Like when he passed away, like I told you, I subscribe to like the news channels in Jacksonville. Like they honored him, and it was because before Jacksonville had a team, he actually did all the voiceovers for all of our pitchers for like bringing the team to the city. So they were like, "Yeah, we'll never forget what you did for the city." And I'm like, "That's crazy, bro," because you just would have heard that voice and that thing, and you would have just thought it was a dude with a deep voice singing it. But that's actually James Earl. You know what I mean? Like it's like one of them things where you never know just how much they did and have done. Because I never knew that. That would have been so dope to me to know that he narrated for my favorite football team, which I'm pretty sure he's done it for other football teams too. But this is just my point. Frankie Beverly, I can honestly say, as a male singer, that's probably my favorite singer. I think he's like the best singer, period, hands down. Like that's just my opinion. Like Frankie Beverly was like an S tier. You know how you like to say S tier? You'll have them good singers and stuff, but there are certain ones that you just reserve. Like we're not even gonna critique them. Like you know what I mean?
and them
There's
boys used
only
to play them instruments, man. Them guitars,
telling you,
man.
telling you. Like he's definitely up there with like Ron Isley. Like Ron Isley you put up there, like it is sad, but they say it comes in threes because it started with Rich Homie, then it was Frankie, and then it was Mr. I know they up there in heaven. Hey, James Earl Jones got all the skits and intros. Frankie got all the hooks. Rich Homie harmonizing with Frankie, but he predominantly rapping. I know they got a banging ass song going on up there, rocking into the upper room.
For sure.
Imagine
Show me
that
what you
trio
learned.
if
That's
you had to
probably
put
that's
them in.
probably what that's probably what the Most High did. The nigga said, "Show me what you learned while you was down there." Them niggas like, "All right, bet." I got
Okay.
a song real quick.
Yeah, I got something for you right now. Yeah, matter of fact.
What
Yeah,
what
man,
what?
but
Before, not to journey too far, but what if that boy really did hit us with that when we get ready to go up there, when we meet Gabriel as the fucking gates open? Niggas like, show me what the fuck you learned. Probably not like that, but a deep voice. Show me what you learned while you was down there.
I think
That's
that's a
when all
very
them ass shakers is gonna be in real trouble.
yeah, because I think that's a very real possibility. Even when you go to the comedic science and they say you're gonna go through and everything's gonna be weighed. So I think that weighing is like I put it in you to become this, and then they're gonna have a big screen on this side, and then you're gonna be watching all the fucked up shit you did, all the wasting time, all of this shit, and then you might have one on this side where you actually tried to do something, or if you were a fuck up, then you're gonna see why things didn't go the way that you wanted. Like you're gonna be able to see. I think that's a very real possibility because this is just a phase. This is a training ground. Like Earth is just a training ground. Wherever you wake up next, the skills you learn in this, like the same way you wake up and wanna like the interest that you have, your ability to draw, you can't tell me that somewhere in a past time you had to learn how to draw, or you found your way as an artist. So
Yeah,
when you wake up in this vessel, it's like, oh, that's something I can just do. So it makes sense.
that's fire.
It
I
ma-
never
it
thought
makes
about it
sense.
like that. Yeah, yeah.
Like I focus on music, so next lifetime music might be something that just naturally comes to me. I may not predominantly want to do it, but it's just like one of them things like, oh yeah, like my homie, my cousin, man, Donnie got the voice, man, he got a voice, and he'd be like, Donnie, why you don't try to do this? And Donnie be chilling, bro. Donnie be like, I'm good. How we don't know that Donnie ain't already experienced that lifestyle in the past life? And now it's just he learned, like, you know what? I don't need to even prostitute my gift, bro. Like, I already been there, done that. So you
Yeah.
never know, bro. But I do think that's a real possibility.
Any closing remarks, man, before we get into these games, dog? It's a good show, by the way.
Yeah, man. Closing remarks, I just say slow down, take your time, enjoy the process. Always look for 1%. You know, everything we talked about kind of gives me that feeling. And value life, man. You know, the whole Tua thing and seeing that brother, you know, go down like that, and the way people can talk about people being bust and do they deserve this and do they deserve that, all talks about the quarterback. Like, you know, go out and make your way, man. Love yours and take your time. That's what I want to say. I don't even know if it was on script, but that's what I want to say. Go Jags
That's real.
too.
That's real, man. Roll Tide, man. Jalen Milroe, continue to prove me wrong, brother. Continue.
And don't bring up Florida State no more. Not until not until next year.
Maybe a
You
few
didn't have to
seasons.
do that. You didn't have to do that. We just need to let them fade off